Same old.
Same old.
Yeah, same old. Just work.
Okay, so let's start with where are you from? Which city are you from?
I'm from Rawalpindi, and
Okay,
I was born and raised here. And yeah,
yeah, and how long have you been with Rubstack?
it's been 1.5 years now.
Okay,
And it's been amazing so far. And yeah.
good, good. So where did you go to school and university, everything?
I did my school from SLS and my university from Fast University, where I opt for BBA, and my majors were marketing and HR. And after that, I began my career with a company called OneStream Live, and before that, I had internship, program with Huawei, and then I joined RepStack
What
in
what were what
2020.
were you doing at Huawei? As what?
I was an intern there. I interned there for 3 months and as an HR person. So
So did you see the difference between OneStream and Huawei?
yeah, a huge difference because when I began my career, I was just 2021, and of course there was the team leading us were from Pakistan in Huawei,
Yeah.
so didn't really feel like a huge difference. But the only difference was that my position in One Stream Live was a bit different from Huawei because there I was a full time, associate and full time role. In Huawei, I was just an interning, you know.
Yeah, but
Um,
still, I mean, you see the environment, and you know what's
yeah,
going on. People are crying or not, because people from Huawei, they're like, "Where have we come?" I mean, of course, because it
yeah,
is a different Chinese company, and they have different. The atmosphere is completely different. What
yeah.
I've
It's
heard,
really
actually, I've never worked in a Chinese company, but yeah, I've heard that the atmosphere is completely different.
Yeah, it was remote, so I didn't like experience the going to office every day since it was post COVID, right after COVID. So
Okay.
yeah, I was remote for 3 months and then I left.
Okay, and so what is your degree in? Which
Um, I did BBA from
okay.
Fast University, and my majors were HR and marketing.
So
Um,
how does that relate to your work today? That what you're doing? Does it relate or no?
um, to some extent because at first I didn't want to like pursue in HR completely, so I went for marketing. Like my first job in Huawei was in HR, but then I didn't like have a lot of learning there probably, and then I moved to OneStream Live, so I was hired there as a customer support agent, like their support specialist. And with RepStack, I actually began my career and like related to my degree, which was a marketing, digital marketing. So
Okay.
yeah, this is
So
where
what?
I'm utilizing my degree most.
Who's your client?
My client is Andrew Gas, working in
Oh, okay.
pipeline.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a great client to have actually. I mean, I think Andrew is somebody who you can learn a lot from.
a
Uh,
lot.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. Great guy and very, very, dialed in. Uh, Knows what he wants to do. Like I remember, I was discussing about the COVID vaccination with him one day, and he was like, "No, man, I've done a lot for my immune system. He works
Yeah.
out very like daily, and he's like very. He knows his thing. What he wants
Yeah.
to achieve."
Even in meetings when we're having, for example, a cup of tea or we are holding a glass of, if it has Coke in it, and he really freaks out. Okay, what are you guys drinking? How can you drink it at this time of the day? So yeah, he's very, um,
Yeah,
you know,
I can understand that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So what does a typical day look like for you when you're at work?
Since it's remote setting, it's pretty convenient for us to, basically, it does not require a lot of time for conveyance or, we don't have to travel much. So my typical day starts like when I wake up, I prepare tea for myself first to basically, stay awake for the rest of the night. And
That's
then
a
I
funny thing, of course. Yeah.
yeah, then I sign in, I say hello to Andrew, and I tell him that this is what I'm going to do the whole day. And we keep on basically telling him what we're doing, because he believes that, over communicating is still better than under communication. So we keep on telling him in between the day. And then I start my day like, looking at the pending tasks from yesterday, and then if there's anything pending, I do that first. And one thing that I've learned from Andrew, and I've been practicing it for the past 2 weeks, is that multitasking is not a thing. It shouldn't be a thing ever. Because I used to think कि multitasking से आप efficient होते हो, but it's the opposite. Like if
It's
you're doing,
inefficiency. Yeah.
yeah, it's not efficient at all, because Andrew told us to just stay focused on one thing at a time. So I compartmentalize my 1 hour to something which I'm gonna do for, like the first hour of my day. So then I don't multitask basically. I don't have like 100 tabs open on my browser anymore. I used to have, because I'll just go in the first tab and then the last tab, and then it's not efficient, I believe. So that's what
That's
helping me.
that's a
Hmm?
great thing you've said there, Manur. I mean, even our human people say that a lot of people can multitask, and pe- a human brain. I was reading it the other day. The human brain does not multitask. It switches itself to something else, and then like if you're walking and you're typing, or you're driving and you're typing a message, you're switching between those two things again and again and again and again. So of course, where you had to spend like 5 seconds to send a message, now you'll
Yeah,
be spending 15 seconds to send a message, and you
exactly.
can bump your car into somebody else as well. So I think this is a great thing, and same goes for our work as well. If you're
Yeah,
focused, you dial in, it's always it'll give you better results for sure. And
yeah,
then and today in today's day, I see a lot of people. You're sitting with anybody. I mean, I don't say that I'm not one of them, but I try to stay away from that. But everybody has his phone in his hand, talking to somebody. Even if you're sitting with your family, talking to your parents, talking to your husband, you have to have a focused time with them. It's not that
exactly.
you can, multitask. You're messaging your friends and sitting with your dad, and then of course it doesn't that quality will never come there. It's just like your work.
And that's not even efficient, and it decreases your productivity, because I've been doing multitasking like since a lot of weeks now. I was doing multitasking like before, when Andrew told us, and he was in a meeting and he told us that if you only give 2 focus hours to something that you're doing, and it will increase your productivity. So we now practice this very, consciously in our with our client, and it really helps. And I think even in meetings, he doesn't like if you're, if somebody's on the camera and using phone or even typing a message on Slack. He doesn't
Yeah.
like it. So yeah, I have noticed this thing. It really helps to not multitask.
I think one of the great takeaways from today would be this your multitasking thing that I really want to ensure that as well. That's why
Mm-hmm.
my working hours are really different. I work in mornings, so I wake up and check my emails and my Slack and everything, and that's because I'm not multitasking at that time. There's no kids are in the school, and I'm really really alone. Not a lot of people are awake, so nobody's messaging you as well. So
Yeah,
it does really make a difference. And then you can do the amount of work which you are supposed to do in 4 or 5 hours. You can do it in 2 hours. So
2 hours. Yeah.
that's a great thing. Yeah, 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 definitely. So tell me, what is one of the uh, highlights or most enjoyable part of your day that you look forward to?
Since I work in support, so basically, it might sound very cliche, but even just solving a little question or a little problem for a client, and when he says thank you, or it really helped, it worked for us, it's really rewarding for me at least. And of course, getting, because it's not very easy to get Andrew's positive feedback. So
Definitely
when
not.
yeah, even when he reacts to our message as a thumbs up, we really, it boosts your motivation, and you really want to do better and better. So that is
I'm
like
glad,
one of.
and I'm glad that you understand that, and let your peers know who work with Andrew as well, that that is the thumbs up is quite a thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
certainly
I
there.
think it's the thing. I mean, getting a thumbs up from Andrew means that you're doing it right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind feedback at all. He gives us feedback and he analyzes our performance day to day, and it really helps. It's not like negative. And if you start taking it negatively, that no, this is not right, and this is, I cannot take this feedback and everything. So then it might affect you. But my highlight of the day is probably when I send him my end of the day report. He acknowledges it and he tells me that you're doing great, Michelle. My pseudonym is there is as Michelle. So yeah, that is one of the, and also solving questions and problems with for the clients and for the members. And also
You know,
we have a great team in Pipeline Pro. I really enjoy working with all of them. They're very active and very helpful.
of course,
So
non-active people cannot work with Andrew for sure.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
to that, I was listening to David Goggins. There's this book, Never Finished, and he was saying that there, once you're there, like you can be in that position as well. That somebody is like had a bad childhood or has a bad, not the greatest of luxury in his life. You can easily be like, all right, I was not, the God didn't like
Mhm.
me, and you can play that role as well. Or in your case, like you can be like, all right, Andrew doesn't like me, he doesn't really appreciate me that much, or it's just a thumbs up, he doesn't even
Yeah,
say it. So you can be that as well. But then there, if you want to be positive and you want to learn something from that, you can definitely be there. All right, that's fine, whatever that is, I gotta give my 100%, and that's what
exactly.
where the difference will be. And I love that about your attitude and what you said right there. And I think it's another point two taken, that this is something that you cannot blame anything on anybody, because your life is
No,
your life, right? Your work is your
exactly.
work. It's not somebody else's. You can't compare anything to anybody else. It has to
No,
be
you
you against you. So you need to figure
yeah,
out that how can I be more productive, how can I excel more. And great takeaway, Manu, from there as well. And
yeah.
so anything, so how, what are you basically doing? Like, are you into digital marketing, or are you into client success? What is your role?
I was hired as a customer support agent for Andrew. Are you asking about Pipeline Pro or
Yeah,
Repstack?
pipeline pro,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was hired as a support specialist first, and then I moved to a position for assistant project manager. And I worked there for 2 months because we needed resources, and Andrew wanted someone within the team. He didn't want to hire somebody because it takes a lot of training and a lot of, back and forth to train an associate because it's a very complex and techy platform, Pipeline Pro.
Yeah.
So then I worked there as an assistant project manager for 2 months, and then I'm back to support team right now. And we have this ticketing system where we get all the questions and queries from all the members. So they're techie. They're very simple, like simple as how to log in, and as techie as it can be. So yeah, so that's where our basically our knowledge for Pipeline Pro comes in, how much you know about it, because we do get a very good training from RSA, right, for GHL. And
Yeah.
Pipeline Pro is one of the white labels of GHL. So that really helped because sometimes when you're hired in a company where you don't know anything about it, and it really gets hard, and it's very time consuming to actually get a hold of that software or the platform. So when I was hired for Pipeline Pro, I did have knowledge for about GHL,
Yeah.
and yeah, because of the training in RSA that I got hired right after like 2 weeks. I just stayed 2 weeks in RSA. So then I worked in support, and I'm still working in support. I'm back in support because Andrew thinks I am the ninja in support. So
Okay, awesome.
he yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Awesome.
he plays me
So
back.
what's the weirdest thing or the funniest thing that has ever happened in the past 1.5 years at RevStack?
In RepStack?
or Pipeline Pro, like working in Pipeline Pro. Yeah.
Um, okay, there's this thing when we ask Andrew like a time, like time off or a break. When I tell him, Andrew, I'll be back in 1 hour. I'll join back. Like there's a joke or whatever. He says you're fired in a group. And like, yeah, so first time when it happened to me, I wrote in the group that I'm taking break for 30 minutes. I'll be back, or something like that. He wrote you're fired, and I freaked out. I was like, what? I don't know what. So I reached out to one of my colleagues and I told him what is happening. What did I do? Can we not take breaks and everything? So he told me, no, it's a joke. Please search it in Slack. So when I searched in the Slack, like Slack messages, you're fired. There were so many like messages like these: you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. So yeah, it's now I know it's an internal thing. I don't freak out anymore.
Of
So
course.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the things that
And I
that
can
I
imagine totally with Andrew doing that for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And so what do you do apart from, how do you know, do you, apart from work, do you like doing something? Any hobbies? Anything else? Hanging out with
um,
friends?
yeah, yeah, my weekends are totally like with family or friends. I have this thing that I have to like go out on weekends with my friends and family, and after I sign off, I do watch something like online, some documentaries or something like not like some series or some sort of things that I'm holding on to, like waiting for the weekend. So I do that. But to be honest, it might sound a little weird, but I miss working on weekends. I don't know why.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I really get bored when the clock kicks in at 7 p.m. I am not sure what to do now, because I have this habit of like opening my laptop and then signing in. I really miss working on weekends as well. I don't know if
Okay.
it's a good thing or a toxic thing, but yeah, I do.
No, no, you should be, I mean, it depends on everybody, but I think weekends are, that's what RepStack's formula is, that no work on weekend at all, for sure, for sure. So,
Yeah.
so where do you go out usually? Are you a coffee person or
I
restaurant?
like tea better, I think. Coffee, no. I used to have a lot of coffee in university days because of exams and everything. So I'm that chai person, tea person.
Yeah, that's 99% of Pakistan is the tea person. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I love my tea when I with whenever I have a paratha or maybe omelette or something. So
Okay.
it has to be tea with a lot of sugar in it. That's my
I
thing.
have I have tea with dough with the flow donuts.
Oh, really? You do?
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I didn't know before, but then like I used to order them a lot,
Yeah.
even before I knew there was from it was yours. So I love their donuts. So I ordered them.
So I think for the gratitude of this podcast, I'll just send you right after this call. You'll get a dozen of it. All right.
That
You
would be
should. You should. Yeah. So and just to wrap it up, Manu, I think you are an amazing talent, and even if somebody watches this, we should put this podcast in the training part. People can learn a lot from super heroes like you, and
thank
really proud of what you're doing. And I had a great time with you, and I'm sure that I'll definitely get some cutouts and get them sent to RSA to so people can learn a thing or two from you. Keep doing the great work. If you want to
you.
reach out to anytime, I would be grateful if you come to this side of Islamabad, so we can have a cup of coffee together, or
Yeah,
chai, for instance. But great talking to you, and keep up the great
like
work, and hope to see you soon. And definitely come to the Memory Intensive. That's on the 30th of April. I'll
30th.
be
Yeah.
looking I'll be looking forward to seeing you there,
Okay.
if not before. And so last question, Manur. What are you at RepStack?
Agency future leader, and I look forward to a long-term relationship with Repstack because I love working here, to be honest. So yeah,
We do that too. All right. Take care
yeah.
and have a great,
Thank you.
great, great week ahead. Bye bye.
Lovely
Take care.
talking to you. Bye.
Bye.